Hey, it's James Breese from Cricket Matters, and in today's video I'm going to share with you one small change that you can make to instantly score more runs when running between the wickets. So one of my biggest bugbears as a coach is poor running between the wickets. Now if you haven't watched the last video we did about running with a bat in one hand, I highly recommend watching that first because it's a carry-on video from that whole thing. So running between the wickets. We want to run as quick as we can when running in with one hand, but when we're scoring twos and threes, we've got to improve our turning mechanics and also be more aware of the game around us. But how do we do this well and how do we do this quickly? So let's talk about the mechanics of turning first in a very simple layman's terms. We want to be in a strong athletic position. So when I come to the point of turning, in an ideal world, if I had no bat and no gloves on, I want to be ankles together, hips together, shoulders together to allow me to push off this back leg to then drive to go forwards. But that's in a basketball court or a non-cricketing scenario. When we're actually running between the wickets, we want to be in a similar position. We want to be in a strong position to drive off. So as we're turning, our bat is going down. What we want is our foot and ankles almost in line with our hips to allow us to get this strong push off to go back down the wicket. The problem I see with most people starts with the feet, okay? Before we go break it down even further, the problem starts with the feet. What do I mean by that is this. They come in high and their foot is at an angle, right? It's like a big turning circle. It's a turning circle of an Arctic lorry here. You have to turn all the way around to be able to run back up the pitch, and that's a big problem. So the first thing you can fix very easily is making sure when you come into the crease is this side run position, because it's a much more athletic and dynamic position to allow you to push off and run back up the wickets. Once we understand the position of the shoulders and the hips and the ankles in terms of turning, we're then going to realize that we've got to stay low to the center of ground to get us more speed to turn, because we don't want to stay up high. High is slow and it's not going to help you get more runs. So as we're coming into the wicket, we want to get to the side on position where we're getting low, hand almost touching the floor, bat just touching in to allow us to drive away. Okay, so if we come in high, we leave slow. What we're going to do is come in a dynamic position where we're going down, sideways on and leaning the hand on the floor to then drive and push back up the track. So side on and low are the key points I'm going to take away from the first part of this video. So once you understand the ideas of turning sideways on to be in a strong position and getting low, let's break it down into cricketing terms. So there are two ways of doing this, right? And I'll talk you through the benefits and negatives of both of them. So the first thing is, the one they like to teach at the highest levels is turning into this sprinter position where your feet and everything are facing forward as if you're in a starting blocks, ready to sprint out the blocks and come forward. That is technically, I think, the quickest way to do it. However, in a game situation, I'm not a big fan of it unless you know for a fact you're turning for a 3 and not turning for a 2. Or if it's a dodgy 2, you're going to struggle because look at this. If I turn this way and going forwards, my head is back up the track. I've lost vision left or right, depending which way I'm turning, where I'm watching the ball to make better decisions. So, in my personal opinion, a hybrid option is best for cricket. When you're coming in and you're getting in low and your back foot is parallel to the crease, the front foot is slightly open but staying low because it allows you to have more of a greater vision around the pitch to see where the ball is to make a better decision when you're turning, because that's the biggest and most important factor. It's not just about running between the wickets, it's seeing where the ball is left and right to make better decisions on whether you should take the run or not. So let's talk about the idea of running with the bat in two hands if we're turning to go for a 2 or a 3. This becomes problematic for a number of reasons. One is the fact is I can only put the bat down in my right hand because the handle is in my right hand. However, if I'm not going to put it down in my left hand like this and drag the handle thing, it just looks stupid, right? It's not going to work, it's not going to happen. But that's problematic because if it's in my right hand, I am turning blind if the ball has gone behind me over there. This is why it's so important to run with a bat in one hand, because let's just say the ball has gone to my right hand side and I've started off running with the bat in my right hand. I can change it up halfway through, still looking at the pitch, looking around where the ball goes, yes, 2, and I can drag towards the other side. Really important, whether it's left or right, you can make easy switches in midair. If you're running with a bat in two hands, it becomes way more problematic and you can only change to one direction, back turned, and that's why I see so many runouts in club cricket, because of poor turning mechanics and poor awareness because they're turning blind. So as a batter, and to summarize very quickly, we want to score more runs, and the best way to score more runs is to score more 1s, 2s and 3s, as well as hitting absolute bombs. When you're running, run with one hand, because you can turn more effectively and make better decisions left and right and have more of awareness around the pitch. That's really important. Secondly, make sure we're staying low to the ground and we're sideways onto as we want to turn. We're not having a turning circle with our foot back here and turning all the way around like this to run back up the pitch. That's just slow and non-athletic. You then have to make a decision whether you want to go into a sprinting stance, when you're turning back up the pitch. That affects vision around the pitch. Or we go to my preferred approach, which is a hybrid approach, where our back foot is parallel to the crease, our foot is slightly turned open, and we can see the whole pitch to see where the ball is before we start sprinting up. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, review, and subscribe. And remember, our goal here at Cricket Matters is to make you a better cricketer.